Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game Scars versus Michael, or Lucifer, excuse me, or Luchel. This game taking place here on Tidehunters 1.2. Scars spawning as the blue orc on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and fix those colors. Lucifer spawning as the yellow undead. Blue versus yellow, undead versus orc, and well, promises to be a great matchup. Hoping that the overlay gets fixed soon. Hoping that the overlay gets fixed soon. There's been some changes made by BattleNet over the recent recent weeks, where the community built tools no longer seem to work, and well, the observer tools do not work in replays. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. Opening things up, no big surprise here. Barracks and an Ultra of Storms, no War Mill, and with the change to the Headhunters, hit points, we've been seeing a lot more grunts lately. About a day ago, Neo watches a replay and the overlay is working. Maybe because of a hot fix or something. Well, I have the most recent the most recent version of WarCraft 3, so I'm not quite sure what could be happening there. Are you sure it's not Neo and Remo's custom built overlay? Are you sure it's the overlay provided by Blizzard, and or is it the overlay by W3 boosters? Yeah, let me know. Let me know, Wild Striker. Anyways, it is going to be a Death Knight going up against a Blade Master in this 1v1. Second Orc Burrow also being placed down as well. Interestingly enough, no Voodoo Lounge as of yet, so not quite sure what this Blade Master is hoping to do. Normally, the Voodoo Lounge is placed down so that the Blade Master has options to do a little bit of healing while he is out and about. Blade Master instead going to try and go after this, well, creep camp here, this giant sea turtle. You can see there is, well, one giant sea turtle here going up against that Blade Master. Blade Master actually taking the damage from, and not taking the mirror image isn't taking the majority of the damage here. That was a little bit of a surprise. The Blade Master even tried to lose aggro, I believe, by attacking this mirror image. Well, I can't send images, so in YouTube, back to WarCraft. Happy versus an orc player recently. Okay, I'll try. Anyways, coming back through Death Knight of Lucifer trying to chase away this Blade Master mirror image. It looks as though that Blade Master could end up falling. Nope, gonna go ahead and reinitiate it right there as they're gonna lead the charge back the other way. Blade Master now coming across here. We're not quite sure which one is the real one. Both sides are engaging. Which one is taking real damage? That's who the Death Knight really wants to scout out and see, as the Death Knight gets the Death Coil off in order to get that experience. Death Knight. Blade Master, did he pick up the item? No, he did pick up a Circlet of Nobility, though, as the, well, Death Knight still trying to shoo away this mirror-imaged Blade Master. Blade Master halfway to level 2 so far. We can see the Voodoo Lounge now being placed down. It is a bit delayed, as I mentioned, and we do see more grunts out on the battlefield for Scars than I would normally expect. 3 grunts out on the battlefield before we saw that tech to tier 2. This is not your standard build order or your aggressive build order, playing a little bit more, I guess, conservatively, making sure that you have a decent sized army. And well, that does show in a later tech to tier 2. Coming back down to the south side here, Lucifer now getting a late tech to tier 2 as well, but that's normal for undead, as they definitely need that Tomb of Relics, that Rod of Necromancy, and a handful of ghouls to not only collect, or not only to creep with, but also to collect lumber. Alright, these enraged elementals could get taken down pretty quick. Where's that Death Knight going? Death Knight now wandering away, perhaps trying to scout out where that Blade Master is. As you can see, that these guys are getting cleaned up rather nicely, and still Scars is doing a good job. He's doing actually a great job making sure to keep all of these ghouls alive and allowing the skeletal minions to take the majority of the damage. Scars with split, with a little bit of split attention, as a Death Knight finishes off a grunt there. Beautifully played by Lucifer. once more. So Scars retreating back with these ghouls, and the Death Knight ends up getting a big kill there as we're looking at a level 3 Death Knight and now creeping out his opponent's creep camps. Alright, this could potentially spell a problem for Scars, but Scars actually doing the same thing as well, perhaps trying to go after his opponent's creeps and deny it when the Lich makes its way out later. Death Knight looking to clear off the remainder of this creep camp here. Wand of Mana Stealing, Gloves of Haste, Ring of Protection +3 are the items. Meanwhile, Blade Master having a bit more items here, now looking to finish off this last healing unit, and now with a critical strike able to, well, out damage that healer caster. Alright, 3 more warriors left to get finished off here. This will give level 3 to the Blade Master as the Death Knight is now wandering down to the south. This is a bit odd that we're seeing so much so much solo hero play. Death Knight now making its way down here. Blade Master sitting at level 3 and going for level 2 mirror image. That was not what I was expecting at all. And both sides now quickly going to tier 3. I don't know if these two players have history against each other, perhaps knowing what the other player tries to go for. Meanwhile, the Blade Master getting some damage onto that ghoul there. That ghoul down to 117 hit points. Death Knight may be able to get the death coil off. Yes, a critical strike there would have been timely, but no such luck. More critical strikes coming down. Blade Master, Wand of Mana Stealing. The Blade Master now does not have as many options to try and back away. And, well, if it overextends, the Death Knight's Wand of Mana Stealing cooldown could have come to an end, preventing the Blade Master from using that Wind Walk to get away safely. Lich, interestingly enough, opting to go for Frost Nova first instead of Frost Armor, especially against a Blade Master. But Lucifer, knowing that the Blade Master doesn't have Wind Walk and instead has Mirror Image, doesn't have to worry about, well, surprise attacks on his units. With that, Lucifer transitioning away from that Frost Armor first because he doesn't need that extra bit of protection early on. He can see when the Blade Master is coming and, well, respond and react accordingly. Death Knight down to the south side here, clearing out creep camps. Tauren Chieftain off to the north does have Endurance Aura and Stomp, clearing up this Forest Troll Trapper creep camp as the Shade now giving, well, tattletaling on the whereabouts of this Tauren Chieftain. Back off to the north here. Well, Lich really does need to get to level 2 and will be able to get there off of this creep camp here. No Warning going to get finished off here. Obsidian Statue now also making its rounds about, as well as the Death Knight testing the waters. Death Knight sitting at level 3, nearing level 4. Blade Master just getting to 3 here as the Tauren Chieftain wants to do a bit of creeping but knows that the Death Knight is nearby. Alright, Mirror Image going to come in for some attacks. There is a Stomp right there. Shade is, well, able to prevent the body surround, but no, another surround in store. There is a Stomp, and the Death Knight falls at level 3. Lucifer losing the Death Knight at level 3. Lich unable to get in enough protection there, and that is going to really shift momentum to Scars. Lucifer doing a pretty good, smart job right there, using that Shade to prevent the full surround, only to get blocked up against the ramp and some Kodo Beasts there. The Kodo Beast's larger body coupled with the minimal pathing area next to that, next to that little cliff there, ensured the death of the Death Knight. Well, what's happening now? Death Knight resurrected back at the tavern. He needs to get healed back up. Obsidian Statue is just what the doctor ordered as the Death Knight now makes his way across. Death Knight should be able to get to level 4 here. Meanwhile, Lich will not be able to get to level 3. Just going to be a little bit shy, but this is still exactly what Lucifer needed. Coming back across on the southern side, Tauren Chieftain is now sitting firmly at level 3. Wand of Mana Stealing and Potion of Greater Mana, seemingly the 2 items dropped from this creep camp. Alright, are we going into an engagement? Tauren Chieftain now has to deal with the Dark Ranger, and that silence. Black Arrow, however, first, as the Dark Ranger wants to do a little bit of creeping here. Shadowhunter also out on the battlefield, and here we are off to the races for a bit of damage. Both sides fighting their way through. Dark Ranger getting in some damage. Perfect kill onto some of those Berserkers. The Berserkers really missing that additional 25 hit points as both sides are fighting their way through. Kodo Beast are able, one Kodo Beast able to eat up a ghoul, and perhaps Nate will be forced to back away. Tauren Chieftain with a giant stomp here as the Shadowhunter using a potion of lesser invulnerability just in time. Both sides fighting their way through. Death Knight now trying to retreat back here. Is it going to end up getting taken down as it's trying to retreat back here? Low hit point Grunt could get finished off here, and more of these skeletal warriors are just popping up out of the ground as Grunts are getting taken down here. There is a giant stomp between these two units. Now Shadowhunter, however, gets Frost Nova as the Lich shakes off that stun there. Level 1 Shadowhunter getting taken down. There is another stun again, but with Frost Armor and Obsidian Statues, and the Death Knight able to get off at least one Death Coil. Problems could arise. Kodo Beast, well, going to slowly digest the unit here as we're looking at some, well, it looked like some absorbed mana. Blade Master getting up to level 4 after the slow digestion on a ghoul. Shade now there to keep track of where that Blade Master is. Level 2 Mirror Image, level 2 Critical Strike. Both sides going to try and turn back around. And Berserkers are now back out onto the battlefield as the Blade Master using a Mirror Image to try and get a little bit of separation. Units trying to retreat back here. Death Knight not going to be able to finish off that Blade Master as the Blade Master retreats back once more. Lucifer losing that Death Knight early, seemingly getting back all of his momentum as Scar's forced to retreat. Scar's forced to retreat. Shadowhunter back out on the battlefield. Blade Master sitting at level 4. 3 Kodo Beasts out here on the battlefield with one ghoul in the belly. Blade Master has to be careful since that Kodo Beast does give sight on that Blade Master now. And with sight on the Blade Master, a seemingly out of nowhere Death Coil Frost Nova, well, very easy to place down. All right, Obsidian Statue here. One Obsidian Statue, one Destroyer, second Obsidian Statue to round things out a bit as the Tauren Chieftain nearing level 4. Blade Master already there. Shadowhunter nearing level 2. And just to get additional experience for hit points may be reason to try and creep. Video freezes every 5 seconds. Peppo, really? I'm not dropping any frames. Not quite sure why, I'm sorry. No dropped frames. All right. Blade Master looking to clear out that Sea Giant creep camp over here on the top right. Perhaps, however, well, coming in from behind, Ghouls trying to lead the charge here. Shadowhunter actually in a very, very strange position. The Tauren Chieftain needs to get into that front line spot. And here we are. Here we go. I thought the video... Yeah, I don't know why... Is the video stuttering? Twitch's fault? Alright, Twitch's fault. Coming back through, there is a Hex followed by a quick purge from that Blade Master. The Tauren Chieftain does have that Health Stone and is going to use it in time. Blade Master now using Mirror Image as some skeletal minions came in from behind to try and get us around. All these Berserkers are now completely exposed by as the skeletal minions are turning in, are turning things around and getting easy normal damage onto these Berserkers. Alright, things are not looking good for Scars at all, especially with Lucifer's, well, it was originally 3 Obsidian Statues, now 2 Destroyers in the air as the Ghouls are slowly getting eaten up now. Blade Master with, Blade Master continuing to try and perhaps shut things down here. Berserkers trying to focus down a Destroyer, unable to do so as the Death Knight comes in time for the Death Coil. Level 4 now on that Lich, and that Lich with plus 15 damage and that negative armor still really causing a problem, but Ghouls are starting to fall as well. Alright, a lot of these hit point bars for Undead is just those little skeletal minions as the Berserkers could perhaps try and poke things down onto a Destroyer as well. Death Knight gets away at 21 hit points. That is a big, big win there as the Shadowhunter ends up falling. Alright, it looked like the Scroll of Town Portal went through and then the Shadowhunter fell anyways. Meanwhile, we are at 41 supply compared to 41 now. Training up, Shadowhunter getting resurrected. Kodo Beast, difficult to tell who has the larger army as both sides are replacing key units. You all enjoy War 3 radio? Well, some people have said I don't need to be a radio broadcaster in my shoutcasts since I seem to, well, detail everything as though I am on the radio. But yeah, I think that just shows my upbringing a little bit more. Listening to baseball games while traveling on a long card rides, I tend to just try to describe everything. And since I'm not like I don't have a color commentary next to me, like and a stat analyst whispering in my ear, difficult to tell, to keep from just explaining what's happening on the screen. Coming back around Death Knight, now getting up to level 5, clearing out that top right creep camp. Meanwhile, Mirror Image of Scars has scouted out that 7 o'clock expansion location, and it does already have a Necropolis churning out a couple of Acolytes. Scars is in trouble. He does not have... he's going to fall behind economically, as we are now transitioning into some Troll Bat Riders to try and take down those Destroyers. The Destroyers with mana have really been eating into the heavy armor units, as I'm surprised we don't see any Raiders coming in from Scars. Unholy Aura and Endurance Aura. Kodo Beast completely exposed out in the back here. Berserker gets taken down. Tauren Chieftain needs to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability to stop the silence. And now finishing things up there. Alright, Sound of Silence right there. The Tauren Chieftain counteracting it with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Knight falls for a second time between Purging, Hexing, and Stomp. Level 5 Death Knight falls, as now Scars may have a bit of momentum since there's no longer those burst heals. Alright, there goes another Troll Bat Rider. Shadowhunter falls at level 3. Another Destroyer going to get taken down. And who's coming out on top here? Both sides suffering heavy casualties, as the Mirror Images, and with their little bit of damage, actually bursting down some of these Acolytes without any real cost. Coming back around into the center here, Obsidian Statue could get finished off. There is another, the Death Knight now back out onto the battlefield. Kodo Beast trying to finish off perhaps some of the Destroyers, as the Blade Master now going to try and finish off that low hit point to Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 163 hit points, forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. Perhaps could get the Obsidian Statue, as the Blade Master, one more shot even from that Mirror Image could have finished it. Alright, back off to the north, we see some long distance mining by Scars to try and make up some of the difference on this, not so fully saturated expansion down to the south. Main gold mines still have about 5.5 minutes left, 6 minutes left down across here. Death Knight now healing back up at home, 43 supply, going up against 41. And, I believe there are additional Acolytes for Lucifer down to the south here, but that also translates into a stronger economic game. Kodo Beast ready to make some move. Tauren Chieftain getting up that mana again. Lesser Clarity Potion now regenerates mana. I thought it was just Clarity Potion. Lesser Clarity Potion? Coming back around on Blade Master, sitting at level 5 here. Plenty of hit points, going to try to dive on in. And, do you waste hit points, or do you waste mana to try and take down those units? No. Destroyers just able to easily devour magic those Mirror Images, get a little bit of mana and hit points recovery, as we could be seeing an engagement here. Tauren Chieftain trying to put his foot down. No Potion of Invulnerability this time around. So that is the Sound of Silence. The Tauren Chieftain just trying to figure out when he can actually put his foot down and make a bit of a play. There is a stomp there, as the Shadow Hunter, causing a little bit of problems there, as the Destroyer does end up getting taken down. Blade Master still trying to burst down perhaps these Obsidian Statues. There goes another stomp, as some ghouls are going to get finished off here. That Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5 with that very large radius stomp, making some big plays once more, as a level 4 Lich may get in trouble. No, a big time Death Coil, 600 hit point heal, keeping that Lich alive, as we now are looking at the Death Knight in a little bit of trouble as well. Are we going to see a follow-up Hex here? No follow-up Hex, but the Death Knight pretty much has nowhere to go, constantly getting purged. He's trying to try and Death Coil his way out, unable to, even if with the Death Coil on that Blade Master Mirror Image, not enough there. Alright, more Mirror Image coming across. Death Knight fallen for the third time of this game, and now getting resurrected the old-fashioned way. Tauren Chieftain now looking to back away as well. Endurance Aura and the weakened Unholy Aura, adding a plenty of movement speed for this Orc army. units trying to, well, range back here, and without destroyers to actually devour magic on these summoned mirror images, they could still pose a problem. Those critical strikes seemingly dealing a little bit of damage back across there as the Blade Master now looks to take down this haunted gold mine. All right, piercing damage, 1 bit of siege damage coming in from the Troll Bat Rider, and this Expo is going to get shut down. And who knew with long-distance mining, Scars would take the economic advantage. We still have about 3 minutes of mining left between these two players on their main bases. It looks like Michael or Lucifer looking to, well, once again resurrects back at the tavern instead. And tavern resurrections are extremely expensive, especially at level 5. I believe around 700 to 800 gold. So that is more than a minute's worth of mining every single time. Can look at it as an additional abomination or two as well. So that is some important things to note, right? And now, well, what is Lucifer going to do here? If he was just going to resurrect, or if he was just going to sit inside his base, he should have resurrected the old-fashioned way, saved a little bit of gold, and then finally moved out. Meanwhile, the last two, creeps on the map, these little reef elementals, will finally get taken down. Shadow Hunter just still shy of level 4. I'm sure he would enjoy an additional strength point or two to try and absorb that Death Coil Frost Nova combination from the Death Knight and that Lich. Expo now being placed down, that Great Hall being built the old-fashioned way, not a tiny Great Hall. We can see a watchtower also being placed down, and now a Voodoo Lounge as well. Scars forcing a home field advantage, and now Lucifer being forced to bring in a fight here as we see a little bit of damage being absorbed by that Berserker. Berserker trying to retreat back here. Troll Bat Riders may try and dive in onto the Destroyer, and we can see, well, there goes a Troll Bat Rider straight up taking down that unit there. Blade Master, meanwhile, fighting his way through, perhaps could take down a Death Knight. We see a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability snare. There goes a Stomp. Tauren Chieftain now in trouble. He's trying to back away. He gets taken down, giving level 5 to the Lich. All right, Scroll of Healing, healing up all of those units, and that Tauren Chieftain getting taken down early was in fact a very big deal. Kodo Beast, however, now slowly digesting an abomination. That is going to be a meal, well, that sits with you for quite some time to digest those 1,000 hit points. 6 supplies in the belly of the beast, of the Kodo Beast, and this one here, as well, the Blade Master sitting at level 6 does have Blade Storm, but doesn't have the mana for it. Both sides still fighting their way through. Blade Master going to go ahead and mirror image, and now perhaps try and use a Potion of Healing from the shop here. Blade Master trying to retreat back down to 246 hit points, and he's just going to Wind Walk there. All right, so level 1 Wind Walk after all this time, and now perhaps could try and go after the Lich. Death Knight is a bit far away. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Shadow Hunter, absorbs the Death Coil, trying to use a little bit of time, and beautiful bait by Scars, getting the Death Coil onto the Shadow Hunter, and then while it was on cooldown, finishing off the Lich there. Both sides still fighting their way through. Level 5 Lich traded for a level 4 Shadow Hunter. Blade Master now trading to chase after the Dark Ranger. Is it going to go after that easily as the mirror images are still getting in the way? Death Knight trying to, well, perhaps not get in front there. Are we going to see a little bit of damage go down? Perhaps an ensnare as the Blade Master doesn't have enough mana. Dark Ranger escapes with 20 or sub 20 hit points as the Blade Master was hoping for a purge there. Is it going to get taken down? Blade Master going to go straight after that Lich. Lich about to get taken down. 1 or 2 more shots there. Death Coil onto the Dark Ranger. And now, what is going down? Are we going to see a Lich fall for the 3rd time here as the Blade Master still doesn't have enough mana? Windwalk, waiting for the Windwalk. There's enough mana for Windwalk, and it now backs away. All right, Lich, however, does end up falling as it was trying to run away from the Blade Master, ends up falling at the hands of the Berserkers and that Kodo Beast. Now, this Kodo Beast, however, now being forced to run back the other side, an abomination will be, well, forfeited right there, back out on the battlefield. Economic or army size 32 supply compared to 27. Are we resurrecting any heroes at the tavern? The number of hero kills in this game is simply astronomical. Are we Are we in like the low sing, or we might actually be in the double-digit range by now with the number of times, or by going into this last battle. We are looking at the Dark Ranger, trying to unsummon here, Acolytes unsummoning buildings to get that Lich out, and the Lich is finally out on the battlefield. Blade Master could be coming from behind. Shadow Hunter gets resurrected. Troll Bat Riders could be going the other way. There's a healing wave bouncing around right there as the Blade Master looks to retreat back. All right, Shadow Hunter could be in trouble. Let's see, a little bit of damage. Death Coil finds the Shadow Hunter there, and with that, the Death Knight now just shy of level 6. All right, Lich resurrected at the tavern. Shadow Hunter resurrected at the tavern, only to see the Death Coil Frost Nova combination, or Death Coil rear its ugly head again against the Orc army. Now, one Watchtower trying to get repaired here. Blade Master, Mirror Image trying to engage. How much damage can be done here as the Lich now trying to retreat back. Death Knight, where is the Death Coil? Death Coil finishes off the Blade Master amongst all three of the mirror images, able to find the right one, or three targets, able to find the right one as the Kodo Beast is still digesting up a unit. There goes a giant stomp, stopping some of the Acolytes as the Kodo Beast purposely trying to retreat back here. Tauren Chieftain by his lonesome self. Is he going to get to level 6 first? This could be a big deal. If the Tauren Chieftain can get to level 6, well, we know that reincarnation then becomes on the table. Dark Minions could end up getting finished off here. Both sides fighting their way through. 20 supply as the units are trying to retreat back. All right, Guard Towers trying to poke back the other way. Tauren Chieftain coming back down. How much gold is left? 662. Perhaps we're going to see a resurrection at the tavern for the Blade Master, or perhaps try to finish off another target. Blade Master now out here on the battlefield as we're going to be looking at a ghoul getting taken down. Blade Master could perhaps try and burst down that Obsidian statue as well. Are we going to get level 6 on the Tauren Chieftain? No, we are not yet, as the Obsidian statue could get bursted down here, waiting for, no purge, waiting for a purge to just slow things up. And now Tauren Chieftain will get to level 6, and now with the level 6 Tauren Chieftain, things can, well, come back around the other way. Level 3 Black Arrows, Greater Dark Minions, 16 to 19 damage per attack. That is rather high and difficult to deal with, as the Shadow Hunter now slowly resurrecting. Kodo Beast slowly getting digested back inside here. Do we see anything in the Orc burrows? No, we do not. As, well, the bases are starting to become sparse. All right, I've said this before in other games. What you see is what you get. But I don't think I've seen a game get to this stage nearly as much. No more, or Acolytes now trying to be brought back over. Altar of Storms, Mirror Image going to try and engage. Tauren Chieftain should be the one to lead the charge here. Just try to get down a stomp. Is he going to get silenced? There's a giant stomp right there as the Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Thank you for the follow. Both sides fighting their way through. Death Coil on the Blade Master. Blade Master absorbing quite a bit of that damage and is revealed by that shade. That Blade Master just trying to constantly hide, and now hide in the back of the base, but with that shade right there and no way to really deal additional damage, problems could arise. Death Knight ends up taking a Death Coil there, giving level 6 to the Lich. Lich gonna try, or Tauren Chieftain gonna try to fight across here. Is there gonna be enough units? There's still Mirror Image Blade Masters coming in for a fight here, as the Shadow Hunter about to pop on out here as well. Berserker trying to fight Kodo Beast, could perhaps eat another unit and try and get away. Death Knight now coming back across. Kodo Beast gonna end up falling, and that is the game. All right, Lucifer winning out on this marathon of a match here. Lucifer unsummoning his buildings for a last all-in push, and I guess, well, finding an easy Shadow Hunter at the river takes him down, guaranteeing the win. Overall hero kills in the teens between Scars and Lucifer. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.